Hello, Namaskar and Adab to all my friends from your friend, astrologer and guide Irfan, once more with you from your very own channel, Astro Assurance. When we have been talking about planets in different houses, planets in different signs, we have also got into a series where we are talking about the D9 chart, the Navmansh Chart's perspective as well, where we are looking at the Lagna Lord of the D9 chart placed within the 12 houses of the D9 chart. And we are also connecting it to the specific planets placement in different houses in the D1 chart. And so this is how the placements work out for the Lagna Lord, for example, or the Dharakaraka or the 7th house Lord. We have been able to make those connections. However, what is also important is that when specific planets go into the 12 houses in the D9 chart, what do they say, what is the manifestation, what is the denotation, and how do we align the planet's characteristics, the planet's energy to the 12 houses in the D9 chart. In this perspective, we have already talked about the placement of Rahu in different houses in the D9 chart, in the Navmansh chart, and what kind of energies it brings, what kind of probabilities it brings. Mind you, the D1 chart, the Lagna chart, is more about the possibilities, whereas the D9 chart, the Navmansh chart, is more about the probabilities. D1 chart is what is possible for you, what is offered to you, whereas the D9 chart is what is given to you. So that differentiation has to be made. So today we are going to talk about the placement of the planet Moon, or the energy of Moon when it goes into the 12 houses in the D9 chart. What are the stronger probabilities it brings to the person, in the person's life, and to the connections to the person's life, because here the D9 is about connections and relationships and partnerships as well. However, before we go forward, please, if you are somebody who are new to my channel, or if you are somebody who is a regular to my channel, but if you have not subscribed to my channel yet, but if you find that my videos are value adding, they answer important queries in your life, they help in some way in some areas of your life, then please help others also have access to these videos by subscribing to my channel, liking these videos and sharing these videos, because when you do that, then YouTube promotes these videos further, promotes this channel as well. It's a good way to earn some good karma, so don't let go of this opportunity. Now let's jump straight away into the placement of Moon in the 12 houses in the D9 chart, in the Navmansh chart. Now when in the D9 chart, in the first house Moon is placed, what does it mean? What is the zodiac telling you? What is the zodiac giving you? Because the D9 chart is what the zodiac gives you rather than what it offers. So when the Moon goes into the first house in the D9 chart, the zodiac is telling you that in your ability to get higher reputation, higher designation, higher status, higher stature in society, you should be going, or there is higher possibility of you being able to get that through the characteristics of the Moon, through the disseminations of the Moon, through the denotations of the Moon. It means that rather than being more responsible or more patient or more perseverance or using high willpower, use your Moon energies in your life to make it more probable for you, which the D9 chart stands for, to be able to get a higher reputation, higher status, higher stature in life. And when you are somebody who goes with your empathy, with your understanding, with your ability to support and nourish others, and you focus your decisions in your life based on that, you focus your connections on that, you focus on how you relate to other people and how you are able to attach yourself to the purpose of life. When you do that, you connect your emotions, you connect your empathy, you connect your understanding, then you have a higher chance of being able to get better gains out of the areas which are connected to the first house, which we talked about: better status, better reputation, better appreciation, better respect also. So when you are somebody who has great empathy, when you are more nurturing, helping others in your connections, through your connections, which your D9 chart represents, then you will be seen as somebody who can be respected or will be respected. People will also like to be with you, spend time with you, work with you, connect with you in some way or the other. So if you have moon in the Lagna in the D9 chart, the zodiac is making it higher probable for you to get higher success in all the areas of the Lagna of the first house, including status, reputation, respect, when you use your moon's characteristics rather than any other planets. Now obviously you will also have to see which house is moon placed in the D1 chart and then link the two together, because that flavor of that house will also come in through which area of that house of the D1 chart you are able to get higher reputation, higher status, higher success in life. Now when moon goes into the second house in your D9 chart, what is the zodiac telling you? Because the D9 chart, the Navmansh chart, is more about probabilities rather than possibilities. So it is telling you what is highly probable for you. So when moon goes into the second house, the Navmansh is telling you, the zodiac is telling you that I am making it, or the zodiac is making it more probable for you to get a higher remuneration, better livelihood, better quality of life, better relationships with your community, known as somebody who has strong values and principles, and to be able to get better savings in life also through the characteristics of the moon. Which means that when you have a strong empathy towards others, towards understanding, even when you're trying to earn money. So when you're trying to earn money, when you're trying to get higher salary, see if there is an empathy attached to the role that you're playing at your work, or to the role that you're doing in your department, or the organization that you're working. Is there somewhere that you can relate to, that you're supporting, nourishing either some team members, or as a support function, or as somebody who is supporting the department, and in some way there is a nourishment, empathy, understanding and a supportive role either to the general masses or through the general masses through the organization. And when you do that, when you have empathy towards your work, you also have a strong attachment towards your principles and values, which means if you can't relate to your principles and values, if you don't feel a strong connect to how you carry yourself with character and dignity, then you will not be able to get better results in your remuneration, in your livelihood, in the better quality of life which the second house also throws at you. So in your higher probability that the zodiac gives you to be able to get more gains through empathy, through understanding, please also focus on your attention towards how you will be able to relate to or be able to emotionally connect yourself to the higher values of your work, of what you do, what service you do, or whatever support you do to the work. Now, it's also important to see how moon's placement of the D1 chart is getting connected to the second house connection of the moon's placement in the D9 chart, because that flavor will also come in. So if in your D1 chart moon is strongly connected to a place in the 10th house, and in the D9 chart it is going into the second house, then it shows that through career you will be able to make money. But if you are able to empathize, if you are able to relate to, if you have a strong connection to the values, principles and also the culture of the organization. So bring in moon's characteristics to the way you earn money, through how you carry your values and principles, how you are able to relate to better quality of life that you want, and then you will be able to give, or you will be able to get better results from your life, because zodiac is making it more probable for you. Keep that in mind, have a more empathetic approach to life, and you will find that more gains will come to you as being made probable by the Navmansh. Now when moon goes into the third house in the D9 chart, what is the zodiac telling you? What is the zodiac making it more probable for you? Because the D9 chart, the Navmansh chart, is more about probabilities. The zodiac is telling you that in your communication, in how you work, how you apply yourself to the role at work or role in the organization or whatever you do, try and bring in more empathy and understanding. So if you're working hard, don't work hard on something which you can't relate to, which you can't get emotionally attached to, which you don't feel strongly for, which you don't feel that you are doing something or giving back. You are not doing something which is wasteful, but you are doing something which is supportive and nourishing of others. And when you do that, you will find more gains. Also in your communication, bring in empathy, bring in more understanding, paraphrase other people's words. So if somebody tells you that I'm feeling sad, acknowledge them, paraphrase, offer your help also, and feel for them. Sometimes you may not be able to help what the other person is going through, but by being able to relate to it, by offering a kind word, by offering support, then you will find that kind of communication will also get you stronger connections, which the D9 chart is telling you, which the D9 chart is about. So when you do that, in your communication, you bring in that empathy, understanding, offering support, nourishing others, and in the work output, where you work hard should be something where you are able to connect through understanding, through being able to support others, through being able to nourish others, or in some way or the other. There should be an emotional bond to where you're working hard or putting in your effort. Then the zodiac will find that the connection that you make through your effort, through your communication, will bring you better gains over the long run, will get you better gains, or make it higher probable for you to make more gains out of the third house dissemination. You will be seen as somebody who is very empathetic, very understanding, but very creative, very innovative in your work, in your communication, and you will find that through that you will also be able to get better gains. This is also strong placement where you could be attached to something which is innovative and creative in something you do on your own, in self-enterprise also. But now see where your moon is placed in the D1 chart, and through that the connection will bring in its own flavor, own dissemination also. Now when in the D9 chart the moon goes into the 4th house, what is the zodiac telling you by placing your moon in the 4th house in the D9 chart? Because the D9 chart is more about probabilities. What is given to you, not offered to you, not made possible for you. Which means there is higher probability that you get those areas connected to that planet of that house where it is placed. So when moon goes into the 4th house, the zodiac is telling you that I'm making it more probable for you to be able to get more gains out of the areas of the 4th house, which is more peace in your mind, more happiness at work, more happiness in your domestic life, higher assets, all through how you use your moon, how you use your emotion, how you use your empathy, how you use your understanding. Which means that the role that is given to you is that you need to be somebody for whom charity begins at home. So in your day-to-day life, in your domestic life, try to be somebody who is very empathetic, who can relate to the needs of the family, relate to the needs of the dependents, and through being more supportive, nourishing the family, or being attached to the family more. You can work very hard in your job, in your career, in the business, whatever you do, but the emotional attachment should be more towards the family, the empathy should be towards the family. For example, if for some reason you need to choose in a certain situation between your family and your work, try and choose the family first, rather than saying no, this is the important meeting, this is an important phone call that I need to take, I need to get onto this particular flight, very important. Try and see that if you can put your family first and your work next. You don't need to do it all the time, but most of the time when it comes to choices, keep the household environment happy. When you keep the household environment happy, you keep the household environment more peaceful, then you will find that you're more peaceful in your mind also. The zodiac ensures that. And because you are more peaceful in your mind, you are happy in your heart, then you will also be very creative at work. You will also be able to apply yourself better at work. You will also be able to do better support at work, more nourishment also at work, because moon also aspects your 10th house. So if your moon is gone into the 4th house in your D9 chart, try and be more empathic towards others, towards the need of the family, and keep the peace at home. Be nourishing and supportive of the family, and through that, through the peaceful dissemination that the zodiac gives you, you will also be able to make more assets, more tangible benefits, more conveniences of life, more property. Gains will also come to you in the long run, with the 4th house represents. Now where the moon goes in the D1 chart is also important, because that flavor will also come in how you are able to get better assets of the 4th house where moon is placed in the D1 chart. Now when moon goes into the 5th house in your D9 chart, what is the zodiac telling you? The zodiac tells you that wherever moon is placed in your D9 chart, The zodiac makes it more probable for you to get better results out of that house through the characteristics of the moon, through the way that moon approaches certain areas of life. So here, moon going into the 5th house means, on one side, be more emotionally grounded even when upheavals hit you, because the 5th house is the 8th house to the 10th house. So in your career, in your work, if there are transformations, if there are ups and downs, then carry yourself with a lot of emotional strength. Also, don't cheat in your relationship when you're dating people. Don't try to just get into somebody's fans, but try and get close to somebody only when you are able to relate to them, and if you have something to offer them, rather than just date for the purpose of dating. Try and connect with people better, try and understand people better, try and empathize with people better. Don't cheat people, don't double date people, don't be in a relationship for only fun or for a short time or for a short period of time. Then what happens is, when you let go of one relationship after the other without thinking of the emotional needs of the other person, what are the challenges that the other person may go through if you have a sudden breakup because you don't emotionally feel for the person, then don't get into such a relationship where you don't feel that you can give something back also emotionally in the relationship and to the romantic liaison that you have. Also, carry yourself more dignity in your investments, in your speculative investments, and don't be misled by your emotions to get into trying to make some shortcut deals and all. Try and carry yourself stronger, keep your moon strong, don't get into speculative gains, hold on to your long-term investments over a period of time, and then the zodiac will give you better probability, better success also. Now, where moon goes into the D1 chart will obviously bring its own flavor to how moon's results will also come from your 5th house placement in the D9 chart. So do relate to the placement, do relate to how they make the connection. Now, when the moon goes into the 6th house in the D9 chart, what is the zodiac telling you? The zodiac tells you in the dissemination of the D9 chart that this is where I will make things more probable for you. This is not something which is offered to you, this is something which is given to you, whether you like it or not. Higher probability areas of that particular house will come through the planet which is placed in that house. So here, the areas of the 6th house will become better for you or will come good for you based on how you are really able to relate to it through the moon's placement in the 6th house, which means in your service, in your job, be more emotionally connected to what you are doing or who you are doing the work for. So when you're doing some service, be service oriented through an attachment, because you're able to do something for others, because you're able to support others, because you're able to nourish somebody in a certain manner that their lives are also enriched, because the 6th house is about service. Also in your day-to-day life, which the 6th house represents, carry yourself with a lot of emotional strength. Don't be overly frustrated suddenly, don't be over anxious, and also in your competitive situations, don't lose your cool, don't lose your emotions. Hold yourself with dignity. Attach yourself even to the colleagues at work who you're working, and don't fall for cheap tricks in trying to overshadow somebody, overdo somebody, and try to walk over somebody for your success. Have the emotional maturity, have a service mindset, attach yourself to supporting, nourishing others, and you will find that over a period of time, through moon's dissemination, better success will come to you from the areas of the 6th house. Now, where moon is placed in the D1 chart will add its own flavor to what the results are coming from the 6th house placement of the moon in the D9 chart. Please go see how the connections come about. When the moon goes into the D9 chart in the Navmansh chart in the 7th house, what is the zodiac telling you? The zodiac is telling you that better results will come from the 7th house areas, because the Navmansh is an area of probabilities. What is offered to you is the D1 chart. What is given to you is the D9 chart. So what the zodiac is giving to you in your D9 chart by moon's placement in the 7th house is that you will get better gains, better results of the 7th house through moon's characteristics, through moon's personality, through moon's empathy, through moon's ability to understand, nourish, support others. So in your relations, in your connections, be more supportive of others, be more nourishing towards others, but also have an empathy towards others. try and put an effort to understand people's perspective, understand what the person is all about. So starting maybe from your marital relationship or your committed relationship to how you connect with your team members or how you connect with your partners in your work area or in your business. Have an empathy towards them. Also be emotionally sound. Don't lose your emotional cool when dealing with these people. Don't be flustered unnecessarily. Don't be anxious unnecessarily, especially in your relationship. Have the emotional maturity, have the emotional understanding, have a strong sense of character, and be more giving, be more empathetic, and you will find that better success will come to you in your partnerships, in your relationship, in the balance that you create in the relationship. So also be more balanced in how much of an emotional investment you do for others and how much you seek for yourself. Do more for others as somebody who is caring, who is giving, and you will find that the zodiac will also reward you with the emotion also being reciprocated, the love and affection also being reciprocated to you. Obviously, whether the moon is getting into a good sign or not, or whether the moon is getting into a dosha or not, will bring in its own flavor. Plus, where moon is placed, in which house it is placed in the D1 chart, will also bring in its own flavor. So do see the connection between the D1's placement of the moon and the D9's placement of the moon. Now when moon goes into the 8th house in the D9 chart, in the Navmansh chart, what is the zodiac telling you? The zodiac is telling you that I am making it more probable for you to get better results of the 8th house areas through moon's characteristics, through moon's personality, through moon's empathy. Because what is offered to you in the D1 chart is different from what is given to you in your D9 chart. The D9 chart is more about higher probabilities of some areas of results coming to you. So when the moon goes into the 8th house, the zodiac is telling you that in sudden challenges, in obstacles, in upheavals, carry yourself with dignity. Be emotionally strong. Don't let go of your emotional thread easily. Don't get over anxious about the areas of the 8th house. So even in sudden turbulations, obstacles, challenges, whether in work or in relationship or connected to any investments you make, or when you're looking at dealing with your relatives, spouses, relatives, also carry yourself with a lot of dignity, but also with a lot of understanding towards the situations, towards your spouse, towards your spouse's relatives also, and towards problems which come in your life, those upheavals which come in your life suddenly. When you carry yourself with dignity, with emotional maturity, and when you face such challenges in your life, in your immediate surroundings, and you're still empathetic towards those people, you have strong understanding towards those people who are the affected ones. If you're more supportive and nourishing toward those people who are going through the challenge, then you will find that the zodiac will also offer you better results of the 8th house, better control of the 8th house, and a better and more emotional maturity to be able to handle those obstacles. Because moon in the 8th house is not an easy placement. You want the support and need the support of the zodiac to be able to go through them. Also, you may face upheavals. There may also be emotional upheavals in your relationships, maybe in your connections, maybe, which the D9 chart Navmansh characterizes. But if you hold yourself with more empathy, understanding, with strength, you will find that you will be able to do better in those circumstances, in those challenges also. There may be upheavals also were related to taxations, audits, government notices, and all that may also happen. Maybe health related challenges, hormonal related challenges, anxiety, mind related, frustration related challenges. But if you are somebody who is strong, if you are somebody who is also more understanding about the situation and others who get involved in the situation, and you're more giving, then the zodiac will give you a better chance to be able to overcome these challenges and to be able to get better gains out of the 8th house areas also. Now where the moon is placed in the D1 chart will also bring in its own flavor, bring its own connection to moon's placement in the 8th house and the D9 chart. So do see how the connections are coming about. Now when the moon goes into the 9th house in the D9 chart, in the Navmansh chart, what is the zodiac telling you? So zodiac tells you that what is offered to you in the D1 is not as strong as what is given to you in the D9 chart, because the D9 chart makes it more probable for you to get certain results of that house through the dissemination of the planet. So if moon goes into the 9th house in your D9 chart, it means that the areas of the success or the denotations of the 9th house will come better to you, will come through better gains through the moon's characteristics, moon's personality. So in your higher education, in acquiring qualification, in meeting people from different cultures, in how you deal with your gurus, how do you deal with the higher teachings, how you go through the higher experiences, because the life will throw different experiences at you from time to time. Different upheavals also maybe from time to time, because the zodiac is asking you to learn from your experiences. Higher learning will come through those experiences that you face, through better control of your emotions, through understanding, through empathy, more cool of mind. When you are able to do that, then the zodiac will offer you or give you a chance of getting higher learning, maybe even qualifications, maybe also expertise, maybe also being more innovative, being more creative in how you acquire education, what kind of education that you acquire, different kinds of education that you acquire, and also being able to get more emotional succor from that education, from the qualification and from those experiences also. So put your high mind and soul to the learning, whether through educational qualification or through the experiences. Pay attention to what your gurus are telling you, what your superiors are telling you, what your elders are telling you. Then the zodiac will reward you more in the long run, because of your patience, because of your emotional maturity, because of your ability to be able to still give more, to be nourishing to others, to be understanding towards others, and using the experiences that life is throwing at you through the dissemination of the 9th house, give you the best gains, because the best gains that life can throw at you or give to you is through the 9th house. Now obviously, where moon is placed in the D1 chart will bring in its own flavor, will bring in its own connection. So do pay attention to the connection between moon's placement in the D1 chart to moon's placement in the 9th house in the D9 chart. Now when the moon goes into the 10th house in the D9 chart, what is the zodiac telling you? The zodiac tells you that I am making it more probable for you to get the results of the 10th house through the characteristics and the personality and the dissemination of the moon, because what is offered to you is the D1 chart, but what is given to you is the D9 chart. So if moon goes into the 10th house in your D9 chart, the zodiac is telling you that only through being more attached to your work and having the emotional maturity to do your work, to do your karma, and with a most supportive, nourishing, empathy-oriented approach to work. Also empathize with your supervisors, empathize with your higher-ups. Try and have an emotional connect through work, and through that be able to showcase to your higher-ups that you are somebody who is very strongly connected to, strongly aligned to your work, aligned to your responsibility. And also be more supportive of others in the team, others in the department. Then you will find that the zodiac will make it higher probable for you to get more success in the designation, in the promotion, and being more peaceful at work, being more happy at work, and also getting the emotional prosperity of moon's placement in the 10th house of the D9 chart. So if you are somebody who carries yourself with a lot of dignity, with emotional maturity, not losing your cool, not losing your or not feeling frustrated or anxious even through tough situations at work, related to work, then the zodiac over a period of time will give you much better results, will make you more happy at work, will make you more peaceful at work, will give you also the high gratitude, appreciation from your bosses, from your higher ups also, and you will also have better assets and gains from work also in the long run. Now obviously where your moon is placed in the D1 chart will bring its own flavor. So do see the connection between moon's placement in the D1 chart to where moon is placed in the D9 chart. Here we are talking about the 10th house placement. Now when moon goes into the 11th house in the D9 chart in your Navmansh chart, what the zodiac offers you is the D1 chart. What the zodiac gives you or makes it higher probable for you to achieve is the D9 chart. So when the moon goes into the 11th house in your D9 chart, the zodiac is telling you that your wishes and desires will come true better because of how you carry yourself through the moon's denotations, through the moon's characteristic, to the moon's personality, to the moon's nature. Which means when moon is placed in your 11th house, have a strong connection to some cause outside, to some social cause, relate to some areas of society, relate emotionally to something that you want to give back to society. In your social arena, in your social connect, in your social network, try and find something value adding that you can do, support some area, nourish some area, or take up a cause which you can emotionally relate to. Also, in your social life, carry yourself with a lot of dignity, carry yourself with a lot of strength. Don't lose your cool in a social environment. Be in control in a social environment. Don't go through an emotional challenge or emotional breakdown or emotional upheaval through a certain situation connected to a social network, to a social situation. When you carry yourself with dignity and with strength, when you relate to a cause that you want to do, then you will find that greater success will also come to you. Be also able to achieve what your wishes and desires are. Also, greater success will also come to you when you connect yourself strongly, when you work for larger causes or large organizations also. Sometimes we feel very lost when we are working in large organizations, large brands, because the population is so high, so vast, the headcount is so much. Yet, whichever department you are working for, if you have strong connection to that, you are emotionally connected to the value add that you are doing, you still nourish and support others, whoever you are working with, to the department, to the organization that you are working in, then you will find that your wishes and desires will come through. In social arena, you will also be somebody who is more respected, more liked. You will also get more happiness, more peace of mind also through your social connect, and also the cause that you are getting aligned to, and your wishes and desires will also come through over a period of time when moon goes into the 11th house in the D9 chart. Now obviously wherever the moon is placed in the D1 chart will bring in its own flavor, will bring in its own connection. So do see how the moon's placement, in which house it is placed in the D1 chart, gets connected to the 11th house placement of the moon in the D9 chart, because that characteristic will also have its own flavor, will also have its own meaning. Now when the moon goes into the 12th house in the D9 chart, in the Navmansh chart, what is the zodiac telling you? The zodiac is telling you what you have in the D9 chart, Navmansh chart is something what I am giving to you. This is not what is offered to you in the D1 chart. This is highly probable for you. So if moon goes into the 12th house, the zodiac is telling you that you will get the best gains, best results of, and be able to put away the losses, the challenges, the issues of the 12th house by virtue of how you carry yourself with moon's energies, moon's characteristics, moon's personality, moon's empathy, moon's understanding when dealing with the areas of the 12th house. So what is the 12th house? The 12th house is also emotional upheavals, ups and downs, losses, extremes. So sometimes you may face extremes in your emotional status. You may face extremes in your relationships. You may face extremes of upheavals in your emotions, in your emotional well-being. So in that time, in that situation, carry yourself with dignity, carry yourself with a lot of strength, emotional strength. Then you will find that you will face lesser losses, emotional breakdowns, which the 12th house represents. You will not be expending most of your emotions on wrong things, false things, misleading things, because sometimes moon in the 12th house can take you there. So don't build your castles in the air, don't have rosy spectacles on. See things logically with a strong dignity, strong emotional maturity, and then you will be able to tide over the challenges of the 12th house. Be more spiritual in giving, being connected to some higher goal that you have. Be more spiritual to how you look at life. Be more spiritual to elevation of your soul also, through the work that you do, through the connection that you do, through the empathy that you do, through the support and nourishment that you do for others, and in your life in general. Throughout your life, try and be somebody who has emotional strength, somebody who is giving, who is understanding, who is emotionally supportive of others, and then you will find that you will get better gains, better emotional maturity, better emotional balance, which you will be able to do because of how you carry yourself. Also, this may also give you an attachment to foreign things, unusual relations also, and make you very creative also in your thought processes, make you very creative in how you connect to people, from different cultures, how you connect to different companies, organizations, foreign companies, even MNCs, and give you better success, higher success also, working abroad, working for different cultures, working in different companies, even multinational companies. If you are emotionally strong, if you are able to tide over the differences sometimes that the culture brings in, the country's difference also brings in, moving away from your place of comfort also comes in. So carry yourself with dignity, carry yourself with a lot of emotional strength, tide over the challenges, relate to a social cause, look at life itself with spirituality, try and elevate your life spiritually by being more giving, by being more nourishing, by being more supportive, by being more empathetic, and you will find that in the long run the zodiac will pay you back, will give you more emotional success, will also give you more emotional well-being, and also better connect and maybe more success also in foreign land and in the spiritual realm as well. So friend, now that we have discussed about the moon's placement in the 12 houses in the D9 chart, see where your moon is placed in the D1 chart, and through those placements also see the connection. I have also talked about the placement and the connection of the D1 chart versus the D9 chart's placement of a planet. I have also talked about Lagna Lord's placement and others. So do look at those connections deeply, and through that have a better understanding of your planet's placement. Here we are talking about the moon, so that you get the best gains of moon's placement in the different houses in the D9 chart. So friends, like this video, share this video, and if you're looking for a personal consultation from me, please reach out to me at the link given below. Till some other time with some other video, this is your friend astrologer and guide Irfan signing off. Ciao.